All right, let's talk about something that I think every single one of us has felt. That feeling of being completely stuck. We're going to dive into how to break free from that paralysis of just thinking and finally actually start doing.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? That blank page, that massive project looming over you, and you just freeze. You can't start. You're just staring at it, feeling completely and totally overwhelmed.
Well, there's a name for that feeling. It's called inertia. And let's be clear, this is not about being lazy. Nope, it's the friction our own brain creates because we feel this insane pressure to be perfect right out of the gate. But the good news is, there is a way out. So our first stop is figuring out the root cause of all this inertia. And it almost always comes down to something I call the perfectionism trap. We set this impossibly high bar for ourselves and then get frustrated when we can't seem to make the leap. I mean, think about this for a second. A little kid learning to walk doesn't sit there thinking, you know what, I'm not going to even try this until I'm 100% sure I won't fall. Of course not. They'd never learn. And yet, as adults, that's the ridiculous standard we apply to ourselves all the time.
So here's your escape plan. It's simple. First, just for now, give yourself permission to be a beginner. Lower your standards. Second, shrink the target. Don't think about writing a 10-page report. Just focus on writing one single terrible sentence. And third, take that tiny, imperfect step. The goal isn't to produce junk. It's to make starting so incredibly easy that it's harder to say no than to just do it.
Okay, this next part leads us to one of the biggest myths out there about productivity. And honestly, this idea is a total game changer because it flips everything we've been taught about motivation completely on its head. We've all heard this story a million times. First, you got to get motivated. You wait for that lightning bolt of inspiration to hit, and then you'll finally be ready to take action. So we wait, and a lot of the time, that feeling just never shows up. But here's the truth. That's completely backward. Motivation isn't the cause of action, it's the result of action. Action is the spark. It's what gets the fire of motivation going in the first place. You don't wait to feel good to act, you act to feel good. And what this does is it creates this amazing upward spiral of motivation. You take one tiny action. Let's say you just put on your workout clothes. You get a tiny result, you feel a little more ready. This proves to yourself, hey, I can do this, which builds just a sliver of confidence. And that confidence, that's the seed of real motivation, which makes you want to do a little more. It's this awesome, self-sustaining loop. Okay, so once we've finally started moving, how do we keep that momentum going? Well, we use a tool that's just as powerful as your to-do list, and that's your don't-do list. You know, we usually think productivity is all about cramming more stuff into our day, but real, smart work often comes from subtraction. It's about being strategic and eliminating the things that absolutely destroy your focus and drain your energy. So your to-do list tells you where to point your energy, but your don't-do list, it builds the walls that protect that energy. By literally writing down what you will not do, like, I will not check my phone for the first hour of the day, or I won't say yes to projects that don't align with my goals. You're creating these clear boundaries that keep you locked in on what actually matters. Building right on top of that idea of focus, let's talk about another method for just cutting through all the noise. This is perfect for those times you feel like you're busy all day long, but at the end of it, you haven't made any real progress on your big goals. It's called the burner list. I want you to picture your mental energy like a chef's stove. You've only got so many burners, and if you try to cook like 10 complicated meals all at once on a high heat, you're just going to burn everything. The whole key here is to decide which one or two dishes need your full attention right now. The method is super simple. You split your tasks into two groups. Your front burners are for your top 1 to 3 absolute priorities. That's it. These get your prime, focused attention. Everything else, all those other important ideas and future projects, they go on the back burners. They're still there, simmering away gently, but they're not distracting you from the main course. All right, on to our final strategy. And this one is a bit more advanced. It's about shifting from just managing your tasks to managing your energy. We're going to talk about working with your body's natural biology instead of constantly fighting against it. So most of us see our workday as one long, grueling marathon from morning till night. But guess what? Our bodies just don't work that way. We actually operate in these natural cycles called ultracircadian rhythms. These are bursts of high-focus energy that last about 90 to 120 minutes, followed by a period where our brain absolutely needs to rest and recharge. The big takeaway here is that your energy isn't some flat line through the day. It's a wave. It has peaks and it has troughs. And trying to force yourself to do hard, creative work during a trough is like trying to swim against a powerful current. It's just exhausting, and you won't get very far.
The strategy, then, is to sync your task with your energy. Save your most demanding, deep focus work for when you're naturally at your peak. Then, when you feel that dip coming on, switch to the easy stuff, answering emails, doing admin work, or, even better, take a real break. And I mean a real one. Get up, walk away, stretch. Don't just push through the dip. Honor it. This isn't being lazy. It's just smart energy management.
And really, that's what this all boils down to. We've talked about ditching perfectionism, creating our own motivation, and managing our focus and energy. But none of it means anything without that first step. So my question to you is, what's the one, tiny, gloriously imperfect step you can take right now to get moving?